Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Forgotten Generation podcast with your host Troy. With me in today's episode is our ambassador, a co-host of a radio show, and is also part of a local youth council and is also a St. John's Ambulance Cadet. Hinal, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Hinal. I am in year 9 and I live in the northeast of the UK. I am an I Will ambassador and a member of my local youth council, and I've also started a radio show series.
Wow. Welcome to the show, honestly, because you are amazing, I got to say.
Thank you.
And so what is your youth social action?
So, my social action aspires to make sure that every young person has a chance to have their say. Everyone should know that their opinion matters, and young people, no matter the age, can create a difference anywhere in the world.
Wow. And that is just so moving and so inspiring. And so what actually inspires you to even have that voice and to even make that change?
So, something that inspires me a lot is seeing my peers undertake social action and making a difference around me. It's really inspired me to have that voice. And I believe that all young people should have a voice because their opinions really matter in order to bring a different perspective and improve development.
That is so true. It is absolutely so true. So, has it ever been times where you felt like there's so much to undo as a young activist like yourself, or has been times where you felt that there was a barrier to even undo the things you love?
Yeah, like it's hard to get a balance between school and everything outside of school, especially with like clubs and whatnot. So I have felt quite overwhelmed sometimes, but it really helps having so many friends in youth social action and my family. They're like grounding me.
Love that because and because I actually feel that too with my family and my friends who actually and ground me for who I am.
Yeah.
And do you actually think that in society, and people don't understand you because of what you do, or they don't get to where you're coming from than others?
Yeah. Yeah, that can be really hard.
Yeah. And do you actually think that it's something that we all go through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think all young activists will like have that time, and everyone has their own battles. It's like you can't always see it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think we all have those challenges. Oh, definitely. So, and you touched on about the I Will movement and also the Youth Council. Has there been any other organisations that you're part of?
So I started off with being involved in my local youth council, and that's sort of where I first discovered the importance of having your voice heard through the impact it had on the community. And then I Will really helped for me to become more involved in social action through the opportunities it provided to share your opinions. I then became a part of St. John Ambulance, where I went on events in my local community, and my community is really important to me. And setting up a show on my local radio station about young people's stories helped to build my skills and empower other young people.
Wow, so moving. You just come through a long way with your voice because you've gone through your Youth Council, and then our movement, and then this radio show. Is there
Yeah,
more on to do?
yeah.
It's just so great. And so,
Thank you.
because it honestly really is. And so, what other issues that you think actual young people are facing and today and just right now in general?
I think that some of the biggest issues that young people and young activists face include having a lack of resources, as without having enough money or connections, they won't be able to spread their message properly. Linking on to this, I also think that because they're young, people often don't take them seriously. Adults may think they don't know anything and aren't experienced enough to have ideas that are valuable, so their opinions and concerns get brushed aside.
I absolutely agree because I think a lot of adults and don't understand us young people. and they
Yeah,
don't see the value of us sometimes. They don't get it because I think they forget that they were a young person at one stage, but I think they forget that actually young people have the valued lived experiences.
yeah, they definitely do. Everyone does.
Yeah. And I think you're very much untouched on a very, very important point that I think our professionals and government needs to like and take to account. I do like want them to do like better to support young people.
Whilst it's great that the government is providing some opportunities for young people, I think it could really help if they would follow us up on what actions they have undergone so that young people can really appreciate the tangible impact that we are able to make.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they should actually come to schools like the MPs and to talk to the young people there to be like, okay, and this is happening, and let's hear your thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, and then once they take in the thoughts and ideas, coming back to us and telling us what they're doing.
Yes, exactly. And should
Yeah,
be happening, but it's not happening.
yeah,
Yes, it needs to be sorted. Like if like any professionals and government are listening to this episode, please, please, please listen because like and our voices matter as young people.
yes, definitely.
And so what would be your on advice to a young person that wants to take up social action but doesn't know how to and be part of their or community and their journey as making that change?
So I believe that everyone can make a difference, and it doesn't matter how big or small. So the advice I would give would be to start small in your community. Like it doesn't have to be massive. It could be helping an elderly neighbor, doing a bake sale to raise money for a charity, or even starting a club at your school. And you could get involved with your local youth council and maybe look into joining organisations like I Will and UK Youth.
Yeah. And there's so many things that they could do, like and exactly like I go into their community, maybe even I do like youth clubs
Yeah,
and youth centres where they can actually get that support in where they want to go and make that change. And they can
yeah,
develop and learn together and with other young people out there who are very wanting to make that change as well as those guys who want to make change.
yeah, definitely.
Ah, I guess I think we should literally set up a campaign about this, don't you think?
Yeah.
That'd be brilliant. A campaign about it to make that change. And so, what would you actually tell your younger self? Because, like, and you've done so much things to make that change. And I think your younger self would be like, oh, and I didn't know I could do this. And I didn't know I can be a co-host on a radio show. I could be our ambassador. I can make that change with other
Yeah.
like, amazing young people. And so, what would you tell your younger self about what you've been up to and what you would do more to make that change?
So I would have told myself if I had to meet my younger self again, I would definitely say to start like being more confident that you can make a difference. Like I wish that I had started earlier and meeting all of these people that I now know earlier because it's a great organization, it's a great community to be part of. And I would just say to be more confident and take up opportunities because grabbing opportunities is a great way to get started.
That is honestly so, so, so true. Like it is because like I think if I told my younger self earlier before that I could make that change as an autistic person, then maybe things could have been differently better for me. You know?
Yeah,
And I think it's so important now, like we never give up on what we believe in about what matters to us because like and our voices matter in so many different ways.
definitely. Yes, they do.
Yes. And so what would be a Forgotten Generation podcast quote to sum up your social action journey?
Okay, so I would say that the quote that I have chosen is I am no longer accepting the things I can't change. I am changing the things I can't accept. I love this quote by Angela Davies because it reminds me that I'm making a difference rather than sitting and complaining about the things I don't like.
I'm just speechless right now. Like, I'm just blown away with that. Like, I love that quote.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that
definitely love
quote
it too.
it's just so beautiful and it's so meaningful because it's so right.
Yeah,
And it is true. And you can't change things, can you?
yeah,
And I think it's just so powerful. It's making me like think to myself, actually, and it's okay to be me. It's okay to be who I am. I keep
yeah,
going.
yeah.
Oh, like I can honestly talk to you for days and days and hours. But honestly, thank you so much, Hannah, for coming on today's episode to really and talk about your lived experiences and just talk about the journey that you're on because like you are doing fabulous.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been great.
Please support the podcast by subscribing and rating the podcast. I'd love to hear what you like and what could be better for future episodes. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram and I will .troy and also on X I will _Troy. Tune in to next week's episode.